So here we are in Joseph's story and how he's a picture, a portrait, a type of Jesus Christ, of Yeshua HaMashiach. That means Jesus the Messiah in Hebrew. So here we see Yosef, right, in Hebrew, Yosef. And he's a picture of Yeshua. And we see all of Israel coming before him, right? And he's about to do something amazing. He's about to reveal to them that he is alive. Wow, this is amazing. This is a prophetic story, the story of Joseph, which takes up 25% of the book of Genesis. Why did God do that? He did that to show you Yeshua, to show you Jesus. And let's take a look at it right now. So look at this. Now they're coming back, right? So they're coming back the second time too. They don't even know who he is yet, but it's Joseph. And here Jacob, their father, says, he finally lets them take Benjamin with him. And he says, may God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, right? The man Joseph. And may he send back your other brother Benjamin. And as for me, I am bereaved for my children. I am bereaved. So he's so sad, right? So the men took this present, and they took double the money with them and Benjamin, and they arose and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. Here it is, guys. This gets so good. When Joseph, here it is in verse 16, when Joseph saw Benjamin, when he saw his little brother, right, that he's been wanting to see, when he saw Benjamin with him, he said to the steward of his house, bring the men into the house and slaughter an animal and make ready. In other words, let's have a celebration. Let's have a barbecue. They don't know it's a celebration yet, but let's have a barbecue, right? For the men are to dine with me at noon. The men did as Joseph told him and brought the men into Joseph's house, and the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, it is because of the money which was replaced in our sacks the first time that we are brought in, so that he may assault us and fall upon us to take us as servants and seize our donkeys. That's exactly what they did to Joseph many years ago. Remember that? But that's not what's going to happen. This is so good. So they went up to the steward of Joseph's house and spoke with him at the door of the house, and said, oh, my Lord, we came down the first time to buy food, and when we came to the lodging place, we opened our sacks, and there was each man's money in the mouth of his sack. Our money was in full weight. So we have brought it again with us, and we have brought other money down with us to buy food. We do not know who put the money in our sacks. And he replied, this is how Joseph replies to them, peace to you, shalom, right? He says, peace to you, do not be afraid. Now, this is through an interpreter, right? Because Joseph hasn't revealed to them that he's Hebrew yet, that it's their brother, their long-lost brother, that they despised and rejected and left for dead many, many years ago. Can't you see the picture of modern-day Israel in this story? And how Jesus, it says in the Bible that they will be saved, and how Jesus will reveal to them in the end that he's still alive. He's their brother. Their long-lost brother, just like Joseph, just like the story of Joseph. This is amazing. And he says, peace. I love that. Peace to you. That's how Jesus speaks. Do not be afraid. That's also how Jesus speaks, right? Peace to you. Do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has put treasure into your sacks for you. I received your money. Then he brought Simeon out to them. Remember, Simeon was held captive. And when the man had brought the men into Joseph's house and given them water, and they had washed their feet, and when he had given their donkeys fodder, he prepared the present for Joseph's coming at noon. For they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought into the house to him the present that they had with them, and bowed down to him to the ground. So they are face down, just like Joseph's dreams, right? Remember, the sheaves of wheat was his brothers, and he was the upright sheaf, and they were bowed down to him. He told him this many, many years ago. And now it's happening because Jesus told Caiaphas. Caiaphas says, tell me, are you the Christ, the Son of the living God? And Jesus said, it is as you say, and you will see me coming at the right hand of the power. What does that mean? That means you're going to be bowed down. And Caiaphas ripped his clothing and he was angry. Well, that's what happened with Joseph the first time too. His brothers were angry with him and they rejected him. So he came home and they were bowed down here to the ground. And he inquired about their welfare and said, is your father well? The old man of whom you spoke, is he alive? And they said, your servant, our father, is well. He is alive. And they bowed their faces and prostrated themselves. Wow. Okay, fulfillment of the prophetic dreams, right? Isn't that amazing how God did this? God gave Joseph those God-given prophetic dreams when he was 17 years old. Many people preach this, teach this. Many youth pastors have preached this as Joseph was a spoiled brat, and they actually side with the religious leaders like Joseph's brothers, which are like the religious leaders in Jesus' time, right? Like the Pharisees. And it's not good, okay? Because that's not what God intended with this. He intended you to see Jesus, to see Yeshua in this story. And those were prophetic dreams sent from God. So that's what's going on here as we look at this. So here it is. Let's keep looking at it. And he lifted his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, right? Ben-Oni, I think it is in Hebrew, which means the son of my right hand. He saw his little brother Benjamin, his mother's son. So he's full-blooded brother Benjamin. The others were his half-brothers because they had a different mother, right? His mother's son, and he said, is this your youngest brother of whom you spoke to me? God be gracious to you, my son. And then Joseph hurried, it says, then Joseph hurried out, for his compassion grew warm for his brother, and he sought a place to weep. And he entered his chamber, and he wept there. And then he washed his face and came out and controlled himself. He said, when he controlled himself, he said, serve the food. In other words, let's start this feast, this barbecue, right? And they served him by himself, and them by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat with the Hebrews, for that was an abomination to the Egyptians. Let's see. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked at one another in amazement. Like, how could this be? We're all in birth order here, right, at the table. And portions were taken to them from Joseph's table, but Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. They're about to see that he's alive. And just like Israel's about to see that Jesus is alive. But this is interesting. They were put down in order of their birthright, according to their birthright. And the last being right, who was it? Benjamin. That last born brother. Now look at this prophetically in Joseph's story. Look at this. He puts them in birthright during the 7-year time of great trouble, like the tribulation period. We know that Benjamin's that last born brother of Israel. If we look at it like a timeline of the nation of Israel, we see all these brothers, up to 10 of them, right? And then who's born? Then Joseph was born. Jesus was born when Israel was already established. He would be like that 11th born brother, the picture of Joseph. He was like that. In a great sense. And the Jewish people were waiting for a Messiah called Messiah, son of Joseph, who was very much like Joseph. And it's very interesting. And then if you look at this even more, I talk a lot. My voice goes sometimes. But check this out. This is very important. They're in their birthright in order. Jesus, when he was rejected, Israel died for many years. It was gone for 2,000 years, right? Just like Israel, their father, Jacob, their father Israel, he felt as if he was dead for all that time when Joseph was gone. But this is about to change because Joseph is going to show him that he is alive. He's alive. This is amazing. And they're in that birthright. So Benjamin was that last-born brother after Joseph, just like the nation of Israel today is that last-birthed brother. If you look at Israel like a timeline, the brothers of Israel, the nation, the 12 tribes of Israel, like they're a whole, they're together still, but it's like a timeline. There's that last born brother, and Joseph pours out to him 5 times the blessing. Today we are seeing Israel blessed immensely. Even before they fully come back to realize Jesus is alive, they're being blessed. Just like that prodigal son was being blessed by the Father, even before he fully came back to his father and was washed up and clean. No, it was before that. The father started blessing him when he saw him from afar off. And the other brother was angry with him, with the father, for blessing this brother. He says, this son of yours. He was angry, right? Much like we see these people today who are anti-Semitic, who can't stand, they hate Israel. You know, I've heard Tucker Carlson say that he hates Christian Zionists more than anything else, even more than a terrorist. It's crazy. But they're like that other brother, arms crossed, coming from the fields. Like, I've served you all these years, and this son of yours comes home who squandered and wasted all of your money, right, as inheritance, and left you many years ago, right? You're going to celebrate and give him a great celebration, a big barbecue, just like we see here with Joseph celebrating and giving them a great barbecue as he's about to reveal to them that he is alive. This is so exciting, my friend, for Israel, because we see God's plan in the story of Joseph spelled out for us so that you can understand books like the book of Revelation, Daniel, the latter part of Daniel, which talks about the end times as well. We can understand all these things. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, the rapture, all this, because Joseph had his Gentile bride with him already in the palace, in his home. And then his brothers come back to him during what? The 7-year time of great trouble. It's all spelled out for you, my friend. Hey, God bless you. Check out my book, See Jesus in the Old Testament. It's available at Amazon and other fine bookstores. Also, you can check out this playlist for free. There's no charge if you subscribe or check out this playlist, but it's See Jesus in the Old Testament. I think you'll be blessed by it. God bless you, my friend.